We are going to be looking at how to do a hip drop, but with a twist. Bellydance breakthrough. So, we've already looked at how to do the standard hip drop. Yeah, this one. And also using that little kick. I have a video on that. I will link it in the description to this video in case you'd like to have a look. But this version has literally a twist. Yeah? So, to do the hip drop with a twist, let's just start by getting into our standard position. So on the diagonal, my back leg is completely straight, my front leg is bent, and my toes are just touching the floor. Yeah, so I'm not on the ball of my foot, I'm really lifted up onto almost the tips of my toes. I mean, not quite the tips, but almost. Now, from here, let's just try to twist. So to twist, we are going to be using these oblique muscles right about here. We're going to be contracting and then extending to twist our hip. And we want to keep the foot pretty much glued to the floor for this. Yeah? So there will be a little bit of movement in the leg, but we don't want to let the leg kind of go all over the place, right? We want to have the foot holding us and then move here to get that movement in the hip with minimal movement in the leg. So let's try that on our other diagonal. Again, finding our position. Foot is directly below the knee. We are on the toes. Foot is very high. And we're just going to twist using these muscles right here and trying to keep the foot pretty much still. And we also want to make sure to keep our back leg straight the entire time. No bending that back leg. So very solid. So that's the twist. And now we need to add that on to the hip drop. So what we're going to do is we are going to straighten the leg as we twist forward. So again, I straighten and I twist forward. I'm really crunched in here. And now, when I bend that knee, I'm going to twist back. Again, straighten, twist forward, bend, twist back. Straighten, twist forward, bend, twist back. Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, and back, and back, and back, and back, and back. Back, keep that back leg straight. Good. So the emphasis is usually going to be on the back and the down, right? So this is kind of a heavier movement. It's very fun. It's got that kind of party or Shaabi feel to it. So yeah, we want to think of the straightening and twisting forward as the preparation, and this is where we really let everything go. Let gravity help you out as you bring that hip down. Let's try that on the other side. So again, straighten the leg, twist forward. You should be really, really crunched here, and bend the knee and twist back. Straighten, twist forward, bend, twist back. Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, and 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 back. Great. You may find that one side is harder than the other one. That's totally normal. Everybody's bodies are different. Our bodies are a bit uneven. So maybe try to work that side a little more, or figure out why that side is a bit harder, but don't worry. too much about it. So that's the basic movement. Now we just need to add the little drop, or the release, or the kick, whatever you want to call it. I personally don't like to call it a kick because then people start like kicking their leg way out in front. So I prefer to think of it as a release. So we are twisted and forward, the leg is straight, both legs are straight, front leg is straight, and then we're going to twist back as we bend, and then again, come forward with a straight leg. Now twist back, start to bend, and then just let that leg slide along the floor, yeah? So like this movement. And this is, again, it's very much like what we did in the normal hip drop movement, except that we have a twist. So the twist is also helping us push that foot off the floor. Yeah, it's very similar to the jeté movement in ballet. You really want to feel your foot push against the floor. Drop and release. Twist back, release. Twist back, release. Back, release. Back, release. Yeah, so again, be really, really attentive that your foot is only coming a little tiny bit off the floor. We don't want to have the foot way out here. Yeah? Let's try that on the other side. So, preparation, twisting forward, straightening that front leg, and twist back, bend the knee, twist forward, bend the knee as we twist back, and let that foot just brush along the floor, yeah? So, back and release, and twist back and release, back, release, back, release, back, release, back, release, and back, release, back, release, back, release, back, release. Now, if you're doing it fast, you're probably not going to straighten your leg all the way because there isn't enough time. So you still straighten a little, but you don't have time to go all the way. And also, last thing, really important, make sure that you are pointing your foot every time you release from the ground. Yeah, and you can also think of almost turning your leg out because with this backwards twist, so like the inside of your foot is coming more forwards, yeah, and that will help you get that twist. Now, arms for this, totally very classic arms. You would have one arm kind of in front, the other arm could be out, it could be up. You could have this arm at your hip down here. You could have one at your hip, one at your hand. This is really fun. If you're doing especially some kind of like a more Shaabi feel, the point is we want to be framing the hip that's working and the other arm is in some nice placement behind us. So, let's try that out with some music. With a twist, a little fun variation on your basic hip drop. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching and happy